Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cyrus Webb Presents. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. So glad you guys could join us once again. For those tuning in on the simulcast on LinkedIn, YouTube, and on X, we're glad you all can be with us. Going to bring in our friends over on Instagram, so they can be part of our conversation. And then, last but certainly not least, going to bring in our friends over on Amazon Live. And I'm really excited about our next segment. We have a repeat guest that's joining us to talk about a very important message from her book. And we're now live on Amazon Live with Cyrus Webb Presents. If you guys are new to us on the Amazon platform, welcome. Make sure you guys do hit that follow button. You'll see it either here in this corner or down below. You also will see the book by our next guest. We're excited to welcome back Kate Thurman to our broadcast today. You guys know her as an Amazon bestselling author. She's a speaker, but also she's a media personality herself. She's also the author of the book you guys see here, Beauty Beyond the Tears. We're going to talk to Kate not only about how her own personal story has been able to impact the lives of others, but also how she's using her platform to make a difference in your life as well. Kate, welcome back to the broadcast.
Thank you, Cyrus, for having me. I'm super excited to be here with you again.
Look, always excited to speak with you. And I've been saying to Kate, and I'm saying it now to our audience out there, you're gonna get used to seeing Kate. Kate's gonna be in some amazing places because her story is one that is not only important, but also I think relatable for others. And Kate, I want to begin the conversation there because you have gone through your own journey of loss when it comes to miscarriages with your husband Chris.
Yeah.
What has it been like for you though to be able to connect with others around your story and to let them know that they're not alone in what they're feeling?
It's been wonderful. I know it's a part of my identity. It's a part of my purpose. It's who I'm called to be able to uplift people and to be able to minister to people and let them know that their story is still being written. So it feels good when people come to me. It's you know how you be someone where they'll come to you and you know they don't want to talk about it because they're still grieving. So I can relate on so many different levels to
Right.
different people on how they handle the losses.
Right. Yeah, so true. Dr. Norman McLaughlin, hello to you over there on IG. Glad to be able to have you. So, Kate, I want to talk about the writing of this book because, I mean, for those who don't know, your most recent miscarriage was actually this year, and you released this book this year. How did you navigate going through the loss and the pain of that this year, but also in birthing this book?
Whew. It was God. It was difficult to think about, but God brought me through when He gave me the vision to write this book. Literally, He put it in my spirit a week later to write this book. I looked and like, really. But I was obedient. I called a few people. We talked about it. Some people thought it was like too soon, or
Mhm.
someone even asked me, Chris is okay with you putting your business out like that?" So I was like, well, um, he's okay because we're being obedient. We that's what we do. We like to uplift and help people. So if
Right.
this story can help someone, I had no problem doing that.
Mhm.
It was the pain of losing, but as I wrote the book and as I opened up to people and talked about it, it was actually healing for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a powerful thing. Amazon customer, hello to you over there and on Amazon. Thank you so much for the follow. Really appreciate that. Kate's book is available. I have the print edition here. It's available in print as well as the Kindle edition as well. And Kate, I want to say I learned so much. Jules, hello to you over there on IG. I learned so much about you, even though you and I work together.
Mhm.
You're one of my PR clients. I did not know a lot of what was in this book before I read it. One of the things I didn't know is that you didn't just have the miscarriage this year, you've had several miscarriages along
Yeah.
your journey. And you talk about that. And of course, the excitement that comes with expecting a child, but also the devastation of that. What helped you do it? Because I think for a lot of people, when they kind of think about their own loss and their own trauma when it comes to loss, different people are able to deal with situations differently. What is it that helped you through your own miscarriage journey?
It was at first, I will say prayer, but at first it wasn't prayer. It was,
Okay.
I honestly, I didn't pray. I was
Mhm.
mad. Um, but I learned that it was okay. I didn't hurt God's feelings for pouring out my heart to Him, letting Him know I was angry. I
Yeah.
didn't hurt God. God knew what was going to happen. He knew how I was going to react. And so, knowing that He knew that, knowing that it was okay to say why, and once I said why, um, being able to then pray again, being able to, it helped me to speak to people, even the ones that hadn't read the book. The book wasn't even finished, but some of the people that came up to me, and if I still had some baby weight on me, oh, when are you due? And I would have to say, oh, I miscarried. And some people would say, oh, I did too. And I was able to minister to them that
Mhm.
way. And they had no idea who I was. It was just people in the grocery store or people online that may have saw that I was pregnant on Facebook that knew me and would reach out to me. So it was still that helped me in that way.
Yeah. And I want to get to the audience. For those of us who have not gone through what you've gone through, or what so many other people have gone through, Kate, one of the things you and I have done in our working together, we've discovered that there are groups even on Instagram where this program is now broadcasting, where there, women being able to come together, couples like Chris and you coming together there. Did you know that kind of support was out there as you were going through your journey?
I did not. When I was after the book was written, I looked and I was like, okay, what am I gonna see about some of these groups? So I just started researching, and I'm like, oh wow, it's support groups out here for
Hmm.
people who actually had miscarriage, who actually had losses, and that was something that was like it was not really shocking, but it was amazing to know that these support groups are here, and to join some of these support groups where that helped me too in terms of, okay, they help people, so I know I'm on the right path.
Yeah,
It was like knowledge for me.
right. And it's a knowledge I think that so many people can relate to. I want to say, for those who are just tuning in, welcome. You're watching Cyrus Webb Presents on Amazon Live, but we also are simulcasting on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, X, as well as on Instagram. Kate Thurman is our guest today. You guys know her as a very vivacious media personality. She's a motivational speaker, but she's sharing a very personal story in her Amazon best-selling book. You guys can see here, Beauty Beyond the Tears. Again, it's available here on Amazon, both in print and the Kindle edition as well. So, Kate, the book became an Amazon bestseller. What was it like for you when you saw, even before the book officially even came out, the response you were getting from it?
Oh, it felt good. To get the response from some people was like, oh my God. Or to read the comments, the reviews, and knowing that so many people was touched by my story. And it felt good. I said, okay, God, it's out there now, and I'm getting a response. I hear you. Your faithful servant is listening. I remember
Yeah,
saying that, like, okay, all right, so we're on the right path to helping people. And I remember saying one time, I don't care if I don't make any money out. It wasn't about the money. I remember saying this, and I was very adamant. As long if I can help one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10, I'm okay. For me, it's about helping someone or some people, whoever needs this, because someone needs this.
right,
Someone was on the verge of giving up until they read my story.
right. I want to talk about the other side of this, Kate, because I've interviewed your husband, Chris Thurman, with you as well when the book first came out. A
Mhm.
lot of times we don't think about the husband and what they're dealing with, and you're able to share that in the book. Of course, for one, it's good that you had Chris there as support. But what was it like for you, the two of you, to kind of come together and to really talk about how you individually felt and how you individually got through? We get to know a lot about you, but we get to learn about how Chris dealt with it as well. How did that help you to know how he was feeling?
With this last miscarriage with us, I think it really, with a couple of other miscarriages, I can see where he masked the pain a lot. But this
Mhm.
last one, I remember the day we found out and we had to drive home. And I remember looking over and he was wiping his eyes, trying to be strong for me because he was driving, but I was hitting the window. I was mad.
Yeah,
And to know that all of them hurt him, but this one was different. This one was, I was afraid at first that we both were going to just shut down. Um, we we thought we were going to do, but we didn't. We kept our faith. But to know that and to see his feelings and see that it hurt him just as much as it hurt me.
right.
Whoa. I think I cried more when I had the revelation that this is hurting him just as much, if not more. than me, you
Right.
know, because you blame yourself and you're not the one that blame. I am. I'm the one that's carrying the baby. But that's not true. Men blame themselves too. It's not true. Men hurt too.
Right. Yeah.
They hurt too, just
And
as much.
yeah, and part of it too, you talk about two other tracks in this that I think are important for us to discuss here, Kate. And I love the fact again that you, for one, have the courage to be able to have these kind of conversations, because I think it's for a lot of people after they've gone through something so traumatic, it's
Mhm.
not, sometimes it takes some time, right, to be able to do this. You talk about the family in this book and how you felt sometimes just as bad for them
Mhm.
and what they had gone through. Talk to us about that. And because I think, again, for families of individuals who've had miscarriages, I think they can relate to what you say. Talk to us about what it was like for you when you were making those calls and
Mhm.
sharing with your family about your loss.
Whew, that was tough. One of my cousins, I don't think I shared this with you, but when we realized that we were losing a baby, I never told her that I was pregnant because on my side of the family, they worry because they said, "Oh, we worry." So I was like, "Okay, I'm just not gonna tell her." But she texted me and said, "I had a dream in August you were gonna come to me and say you were pregnant," and I laughed because I knew what was going on. She didn't, and so I still didn't tell her until after she saw the post from the gala on Facebook, and she called back. She said, "Oh my God, I had no idea." And we sat there and we cried a little bit. And she said, "But I'm telling you what I saw is going to happen." And sometimes when you talk to your family members and they're still trying to encourage, even though um, that they're hurt,
Yeah.
it's just as much they're hurt for us. And so for our parents, though, it was a little different. Um, our kids, I couldn't look at the kids in the face. I remember um, sitting in the car, and I think I put that in the book. I know I did because that was significant. And my daughter, she's like, "Mama, don't cry." As she's wiping my eyes, and she was like, "It's okay, mommy. God got it. Don't cry." And the other kids just looking at me, and so I couldn't talk to my mom. I turned my head when I told her, and it took us. Few days to call my mother-in-law, my father-in-law. Chris couldn't even pick up the phone. We kept saying, "Well, we gotta tell him." He was like, "Yeah, no." It was hard. Even our church family, it was hard letting them know. It was just hard. And a lot of people don't realize that it's not just you. Your family goes through it.
Right.
They hurt just as much because they look for that bundle of joy. They're excited. They call you every day to check on you, make sure you're laying down and make sure your feet is up and make sure you're doing right. And
Yeah.
then the one time they call you and you can't say, "Oh, I'm doing good. And me and the baby taking a nap." And when you can't do that, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's the thing, and I can feel the emotion with you even now. Hello to you,
Mhm.
Angela Anderson. Good to be able to see you over there on IG. So let's talk about us, the public, because I think I'm so glad you mentioned this in the book, Kate, because we as human beings we mean well, but we do some stupid stuff, and we say some stupid stuff,
Mhm.
and you address that in the book that a lot of times even though we may mean well, we say things that are not helping, that actually are hurting. So, what would you say to people about what to say? Let's say it's one of their family members who has lost a child through a miscarriage, or it may be a friend of ours that has gone through a miscarriage. What would you say to us based on your own experience about how we have to be careful about sometimes not saying anything?
Ooh, that's true. You do. I think I told you on another interview what someone said to me. Um, and it almost felt like they were dismissing our babies. And so when you have family members or friends that says something to you, it's best just not to say anything because just because you didn't go through it or just because you feel a way about this person or that person, you cannot diminish what they're going through. You can't make them feel any worse than what they're already feeling. If you don't have anything nice to say, zip it. Because when you say something to someone, you may not think it's hurtful. You may not think that it wasn't that bad. But when someone says to you, oh, that didn't matter, other grandkids here or something like that, that sticks with a person,
Yeah.
and it doesn't go away, and it makes a person look at you differently. So if you say something, if you can't say anything good to your friend or your family member, zip it. Because do know that you're planting a seed right there in them. Do know that you're hurting them in a way, and do know that you're saying something that you can't take back. That's your heart posture.
Mhm.
And if your heart posture is not to pray for someone, to uplift them in their time of need and when they're going through, just zip it.
Yeah. Yeah. So why use your platform, Kate? That's the question, especially because as I mentioned in the beginning of this conversation, that you are not just sharing your story in the book, you actually are speaking. You also are now being able to be there to help others. Why make that decision to be of comfort in some way to someone else?
That decision came from, again, my heart posture and knowing that it's a part of my purpose to intentionally set out to have your heart posture set where you want to help this person, even in your pain, even in the midst of your sorrow, no matter what you're going through. When sometimes when people call and I can be having a hard day, I'm
Hmm.
going to put my own feelings aside. I'm going to pray for that person. I'm going to uplift that person because that's who I'm called to be. So to use my platform to uplift, no matter what it is I'm going through, because I know what God has for me. I stand on His promise. I stand on His word. It will come to pass. Right now, I have a job to do, and that's to uplift. That is to listen. That is to be a vessel and help women who don't understand, or who may be struggling with their faith, who may be struggling with getting closer to God, or hearing or understanding, just understanding in general, not just a miscarriage, just understanding in general that is not their fault.
Right. Yeah. Such an important message, Kate, and I really appreciate you using your platform, trusting us here on Amazon Live to be able to share this story. But also, I'm glad you shared this because I think, again, it's going to make people feel less alone, make them feel seen, but also understood in what they're feeling. Because one thing we didn't really talk about in this conversation that we have talked about before is, you know, Kate even expressed her anger toward God in the book. And she talks about some of the scriptures though that helped her. So I think there's so many layers to this, Kate, that I think people will appreciate. Again, everyone, Kate Thurman has been our guest. The book is Beauty Beyond the Tears. You all can get it here on Amazon now. And Kate, let our audience know, how can they stay connected with you and how can they reach out to you for speaking engagements as well?
So they can email me at katewrites80 at gmail.com, or 770-765-6641. On Facebook, LinkedIn is Kate Thurman. Also, if you want to reach out and for through Chris or through Angelically Blessed, we do have a nonprofit. It's
Mhm.
Angelically Blessed 0811 at gmail.com, or angelicalyblessed.org.
All right. Well, Kate, thank you so much again for the time. Really appreciate it. Looking forward to our next chat together.
Thank you.
More than welcome. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Cyrus Webb Presents. Until next time, you all make it a great one. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.